It's 12 o'clock. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Star Midday News. And coming up in the bulletin, Ghana National Fire Service begins investigations into deadly explosion after car crash at East Legon, resulting in the death of 2 persons and injury of others.
There was this 4x4 vehicle that was speeding towards that junction where the accident happened, and as a result, it crashed into one of the car, hitting a nearby structure. I don't know whether it's a security post or so of a particular company.
Meanwhile, 12 people have died in a fatal accident today after a VIP bus traveling from Kumasi to Enchi in the Western North region veered off the road and plunged into a ditch near the town of Kwapia, close to Obuasi. We'll bring you the details. Also ahead, Anti-Galamsey Task Force arrests 20 suspected illegal miners, including 2 Chinese nationals, at New Ebrim in the eastern region, as they accuse the DCE of the area of engaging in the menace. And still ahead, NDC accuses the NPP of deliberately misinforming electorates in the Ashanti region to thwart the party's fortunes in the upcoming general election.
The evil men do live after them, and for same reason, we think of it as a deliberate electoral misinformation.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has urged parties to focus on issues instead of misinformation. Details of these stories and many more, including sports and what is trending on social media, are coming up in the next 30 minutes. Stay tuned in. Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM. Star News. Informed, in-depth, in touch. You're welcome once again to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM here in Accra with me, Dedei Tettey, to the details of our stories now. And the Ghana National Fire Service has begun investigations into the deadly explosion that occurred at East Legon after a car crash. Now, 2 persons died on the spot while others sustained serious injuries after a speeding vehicle allegedly being driven by a son of a popular man of God, Bishop Salifu Amwako, collided with another vehicle. According to CCTV footage, which has gone viral, the accident was caused by overspeeding, which led to a fatal collision. Both vehicles were completely destroyed by the flames. Head of Public Relations for the Ghana National Fire Service, D.O. Desmond Aka, has been speaking to me on the Morning Star about the ongoing investigations.
What we have gathered so far, it appears there was this 4x4 vehicle that was speeding towards that G junction where the accident happened, and as a result, it crashed into one of the car, hitting a nearby structure. I don't know whether it's a security post or so of a particular company. So as a result of the crash or the impact, it burst into flame, and it trapped the 2 individuals who were in the passenger seat of that particular car, and then it got them burnt. So that is our preliminary findings. We are still continuing with the investigation to ascertain what actually led to the fire outbreak.
On social media, for instance, there have been various narratives. There's been talk about an electricity pole being there and the car crashing into it, sparking the fire. Is the reason I asked that. But you say that investigations are still ongoing, so I'm sure with time all the fine details will emerge. But then, how are the injured faring? How are they faring? What's their condition? Are they stable? What is the level of their injuries?
Yes, like I indicated earlier, we understand they were sent to the Legon Medical Center. Our investigating team is yet to reach out to them and to find out their state now. So as I speak with you, I do not know their condition now.
Well, the Ghana National Fire Service spokesperson also justified their decision to stream the rescue effort.
I believe many Ghanaians have not given us enough credit where credit is due. I mean, look at the risks our men continually face in the face of saving lives and responding to incidents that they did not cause in the first place. But we have always been faced with abuses and then assaults every now and then. So bringing some of these footages into the public domain, though it has its negative effects, but the positive aspect is it throws more light on the fact that we have never relented on executing our mandate by way of responding promptly and then saving lives, even at the peril of our own lives. So we would want to regroup and then ensure that the footages that will not be so palatable for the public good will not be aired, maybe going forward. But we want you, the media in particular, to be able to give us the needed credit and then ensure that whatever good that we have stood for the past 61 years should be enhanced and should be publicized for the good people of this country that we serve, for them to know.
You had the public relations officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, D.O. Desmond Aka. Let's go to social media. People have been very vocal about this particular incident because of how tragic it is. I've been joined in the studio by Nanama Aqua with some of the comments you have been making on social media in relation to this. Nanama, what are people saying?
Well, now, based on the eyewitness account that was trending on social media, on X, we have here Dewin, who says, kudos to all who tried to help. A special shout out to the Muslim who risked his life to save the little girl. Mario says, may their souls rest in peace. Rosie says, oh, Charlie, this thing is tragic. Then Kwekwe Ajay says, it's very true. I remember Saturday around 4:30 to 5 p.m. I saw the fire truck trying to clear the traffic at Medina, but it wasn't that easy. We also have Mr. Crane, who says, if we tell you the number of populous locations that don't have fire stations, you will be shocked. And the lengths fire personnel have to go to get there mostly explains some of the late show-ups. Then we have Wright, who says the incident happened at 4:15 p.m. and fire service came at 4:46 p.m. We also have Tettey, who says it's shocking how an elite community such as East Legon, of all places in Accra, will be without a fire station. Indeed, lives have been lost and, of course, can't be restored, but we owe it as a duty to the two deceased persons to do things right as a company. We have Kofi, who adds, check out our SHS and others. The majority of our young men are now behind the wheel. That being said, it's nothing new. He's not the first 16-year-old boy in Ghana to drive. However, he ought to have exercised caution to prevent any harm, and it's regrettable that it did. We have our last comment here, who from Hoven, who says the firefighters are also victims as much as we all are when it comes to fighting fire. They don't have adequate equipment to truly fight emergencies. Let's get real. We only get angry at them because someone needs to be blamed, and sadly, they're the first point of contact. Well, now that's what we have. My name is Nanama Aqua. Back over.
Thank you very much, Nanama Aqua, with the details with regard to what people are talking about on social media and what they're saying specifically in relation to this tragic story. And speaking of tragedy, 13 people have lost their lives in a fatal accident that occurred today when a VIP bus traveling from Kumasi to Enchi in the Western North region veered off the road and plunged into a ditch near the town of Kwapia, close to Obuasi. Well, the police have confirmed that 11 passengers died on the spot, with one additional passenger succumbing to injuries at the hospital. The deceased included 7 males, 5 females, and a child, all of whom were passengers on board the bus. The driver, identified as one Osei Edu, was rushed to the hospital for treatment, but sadly passed away shortly after arriving due to the severity of his injuries. And certainly not the kind of news we all want to hear. We've come back from a weekend where scores have lost their lives. About 8 people lost their lives, and now today 13 more people have lost their lives within a span of 3 days. Very unfortunate. And we all take caution when we are driving on our roads. You're still listening to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. From one menace, which is road crashes, to another environmental, degrading one for that matter, the Galamsey illegal mining. An anti-Galamsey task force comprising the Kotoku Environmental Task Force has arrested 20 suspected illegal miners in a special operation at the New Ebrim in the eastern region. The suspects include 18 Ghanaians and 2 Chinese nationals. They have all been arrested for engaging in illegal mining activities in the Brim North District. The task force made the arrests at mining sites near the Ibrim Roman Missionary House during the weekend. 2 excavators, other mining equipment, and 2 pumping machines were also seized. The task force is alleging that the district chief executive, DCE, for Brim North, Raymond Nana Damte, along with one Nana Edumasahene, are behind the illegal mining activities taking place in the area. Let's go by the telephone lines and speak to the DCE for Brim North, Honorable Raymond Nana Damte, for some details in relation to this particular issue. Yeah, so we're working the telephone lines to reach the DCE for Brim North, Honorable Raymond Nana Damte, to get some answers with regard to these accusations that have been leveled against him. And the task force says that he and one Nana are behind the illegal mining activities in that particular area. You're still listening to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. And, well, since we cannot reach him, we can move to the court. We'll be speaking to our legal affairs correspondent, Mutala Inusa. Well, lawyers of the leading member of Democracy Hub, Oliver Baka-Vomawo, are expected to make a repeat bail application for him at the circuit court after being denied 3 times, being denied bail 3 times for charges including unlawful assembly. Currently, Baka-Vomawo, who has arrived in court in handcuffs, is awaiting the case to be called. Raphael Affle Williams and Felicity Nelson and others who have been granted bail have also arrived. EIB Network's legal affairs correspondent, Mutala Inusa, who is monitoring the events in the courts, will be joining me with some more with regard to the update in relation to what is happening at the court. So lawyers of Oliver Baka-Vomawo will make an appeal again. Perhaps it will be 3 times the charm. Let's go over the telephone. Mutala Inusa is there. Mutala, has a case been called?
Dedei, the case has been called. The case involving Oliver Baka-Vomawo and some 12 others have been called, including Felicity Nelson. And what is key is that the other accused person, the 8th accused person who has not been in court from the one, Fani Utu, has arrived in court and his plea is currently being taken. Earlier, the information is that lawyers for Oliver Baka are going to make a repeat bail application, but that did not happen. What they have instead done is to file a repeat bail application at the High Court, which in the subsequent days would be moved. So at the circuit court currently, the plea or the request for bail for Oliver Baka has not been made in relation to that. Prosecution led by Nana Akusi, Assistant State Attorney, informed the court that they have filed the second batch of their disclosure. However, that did not include witness statements. So they have requested for a week to be able to file their witness statement in relation to this leg of the case. The case has then been adjourned to the 24th of October. But immediately after the date has been taken, prosecution informed that the court that Fani Utu, who has been taken ill for some time now, has arrived in court. And so his plea was about to be taken when I just came out to talk to you. So what is clear now is that Oliver's lawyers have now decided to go back to the High Court to seek bail for Oliver Barker-Vormawor. In the coming days, that will come to the fore. But here at the Circuit Court, they have decided not to. But Faniotu, who has been absent, has arrived. The other leg, another set involving Ralph Williams and some 9 others are also in line after this very case. That one will also be caught. In fact, we didn't see the numbers that initially characterized this whole matter, except Oliver Barker-Vormawor, who is in custody and was accosted or assisted or brought to court by personnel, few of them from the Ghana police.
Thank you very much. Mutala Inusa is our legal affairs correspondent. Let's switch our attention to issues relating to health. And driven by an unwavering passion for children with deformities, Mildred Osei Isiama established the Impact Care Rehab Foundation in 2017. This life-changing decision not only brought hope to mothers with children living with disability, but also transformed her own life. Peter Kwao Adato visited Mildred and the 26 children she cares for on this year's World Cerebral Palsy Day and filed the following report.
Cerebral palsy, a long disorder affecting movement and posture development caused by non-progressive injury to the developing brain during fetal or infant stages. Cerebral palsy is a leading cause of childhood disability worldwide, presenting with delayed motor development, musculoskeletal issues, and associated conditions such as epilepsy, vision and hearing impairments, and speech difficulties. In Africa, birth asphyxia, neonatal infections, kernicterus, and low birth weight are the primary contributors to the condition. Cerebral Palsy Africa estimates that 1 in every 300 births in Ghana results in cerebral palsy. These children require continuous services, support, and multidisciplinary care to optimize their developmental potential throughout their lives. Driven by compassion, Mildred Osei Isiama established the Impact Care Rehab Foundation in 2017, providing hope and care for children with cerebral palsy.
When I got to know about the condition and I witnessed a child being dumped because it was claimed that it was River Child, I decided that no, I would rather set up a place to help children with cerebral palsy.
Caregivers at the foundation share their personal experiences as Ghana marks World Cerebral Palsy Day 2024. Addressing this issue requires both short and long-term solutions. A pediatrician and disability specialist at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Yvonne Brew-Gar, provides insights on how Ghana can enhance support for children with cerebral palsy.
If you have a school that you say is for everybody to attend, and you do not provide that service of somebody who will feed the child or will change the diaper, then you haven't provided the school. And I think that is the discussion we need to have.
You heard there Peter Adato's report. We'll bring you the full version later on Starr Today. Let's switch our attention to issues relating to politics, specifically the upcoming December 7 elections. And let's turn our attention to happenings in the Ashanti region.
You know, Kasa, no, Kasa, Bibia, Chinchina, Chai. Said John 1, Apostle to Mana. Yes, sir, oh, Twama number 8, oh, 23 number 1. But 2, 1, 2, 3, Sa, could number 8 and Wajai. You know, the American Mudawa. Over 12, 1, Sa.
You just heard the voice of a supposed member of the NPP in the Ashanti region, allegedly, misinforming the electorate on how to cast their ballot against the NDC in this year's general election. Now, as heard in that audio from the video, the speaker suggested that to a voter that if they wish to vote for the NDC, they should thumbprint 8 times from the top to the 8th box, which is the position of the NDC on the ballot paper. Well, the audio tape, which has been widely circulated on social media, has caught the attention of the leadership of the leading opposition party, the NDC, who has accused the NPP of deliberately misinforming people who wish to vote for John Dramani Mahama, the party's flag bearer. Ashanti Regional Secretary of the party, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, in an interview with me on the Morning Star, says the party has duly reported the mishap to the relevant agencies.
The evil men do lives after them. And for same reason, we think of it as a deliberate electoral misinformation. So the institutions that are mandated to ensure that the right things are done in our body politics have been notified, including the National Commission for Civic Education. They are all and out in electoral times preaching for all the peace and all the issues. These are deliberate attempts to only misinform the public. So we are expecting them to take action. Beyond that, we also have the onus to.
What form of action do you want them? Do you expect them to take? Some would say that really, it's politics, and each party would adopt every means possible to get as many votes as possible. So how does this culminate in, a deliberate electoral, misinformation?
Yes, it is politics, but we are bound to be ethical in our body politics, unless maybe we want a breakdown of the ethics that governs the way and manner we do our politics in this country, or we want to be ruthless or lawless, or we want to see us printing Baumia's picture with the head cut off and replaced with a chicken or something because it is politics. We want to see posters of the MPP in a manner that I may not be able to describe, or in the name of being politics. So, yes, it is politics, but we are bound to be ethical, so that at the end of the day, when the young ones are learning from us, they will learn it in the right context and in a very proper context. So we expect the NCC to take action and call them to order. Because if same is not done, then as I equally indicated, if you see posters of MPP with, instead of the elephant, seeing a coconut or a cocoyam, then no one comes out and complains, because when the issue started, we all watched on. So we expect that same will be done, and the institutions will bring them to book.
You heard there the General Secretary of the NDC in the Ashanti region, Dr. Frank Amwakohene. Meanwhile, Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, Benjamin Banobio, has admonished political parties to desist from misinforming the electorate and rather focus on issues. He also spoke to me on the Morning Star.
What I want to say is that this is misinformation, it's also a disinformation. And we want to advise whoever is behind such videos and such information. There are so many of them now on social media. So we want to advise all of them that it's time that we concentrate on convincing the voters to vote for their respective political parties based on a performance, based on what the people think it should be, based on their promises, but not based on misinformation. On the other hand, the Commission is working hard to educate the public, and the structures and the system that we have put in place, no such misinformation will be accepted by the public. So we teach them, we educate them on how to vote correctly. On the D-Day, there will be voting steps that will show how they should vote. And we say this is not the first time that we are going to the polls. Ghanaians know how to vote, and we will continue to educate them. So whoever is doing that should put a stop to that and ensure that we educate the public effectively, and ensure that the public, after they have been educated, will make informed choices, and all these things will come into fruition when we have successfully conducted the 2024 general elections.
You heard there the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, Benjamin Bano Bio. And staying with the Electoral Commission, he also did disclose to us that the ballot statistics for the printing of presidential and parliamentary elections ballots were ready. When we had that conversation with him, there's a subsequent statement coming from the Electoral Commission. It says here that the Electoral Commission hereby publishes the ballot statistics to guide the printing of the presidential and parliamentary elections ballots ahead of the 2024 general election. In arriving at the ballot statistics, the Commission took into account the total number of voters in the 2024 provisional voters register, plus a 2% increase. While the Commission welcomes and encourages a total voter turnout on election day, it also recognizes that not every registered voter will vote in the 2024 general election. The Commission is confident that the methodology relied on, that is, utilizing the total number of voters on the PVR plus that's a provisional voters register, plus a 2%, I beg your pardon, increase to guide the printing of ballots is adequate and will not result in shortfalls or unnecessary wastage. This methodology of adding a percentage increase has been used by the Commission to guide the printing of ballots since 1992. We entreat the public to trust us to deliver on our Monday. So that's a statement coming in from the Electoral Commission. Let's now switch our attention to the very latest in the world of sports. That'll be it for the Election Hub. Time now for sports. And Christian has joined me in the studio. What's in sports?
Now, Dedei, the Black Stars have arrived in Libya for the return leg encounter against Sudan in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. Ghana plays Sudan on match day 4 of the qualifying series on Tuesday, with Otuado's side looking to a match point to climb up the table to secure qualification for Morocco next year. The 4-time African champions have just 2 points from 3 games played so far, following the goalless draw with Kwesi Appiah's men on Thursday. A win for Ghana will see them go a point clear ahead of the final 2 games in November. Meanwhile, match day 6 of the Ghana Premier League produced some exciting results as Nations FC were held by BBN Gold Stars in an enthralling game at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big Team United also ended Mediame's unbeaten start to the season with a convincing 2-0 victory. Accra Hasselhoff, however, beat Young Apostle 2-1. Speaking after the game, Hasselhoff head coach Abubakar Ratara lauded his players after the 2-1 win against Young Apostles.
It can be difficult for us because of so many things, and Young Apostles are a very good side, but we're trying to maintain them. We get the 3 points. I think it's our second win. We can't jubilate too much. We are continuing to hard working to see what can happen in this league. But second win, we have 2 defeats, 2 wins, we have 2 draw. I think we are going to make our effort to do that hard work to go forward. It's not easy, but we are going to do.
Coach, your players, especially Sani Mohammed, 2 assists from him, very fantastic player. How important was he in this game for Hasselhoff?
You are discovering him. But me, I see him 1, 2, 3 trips I take him. That's why I maintain him in the game. It's very important for my dispositive. And our system is very important for us if we can control the ball.
England managed to respond with a solid win against Finland in their UEFA Nations League encounter on Sunday. Jack Grealish netted the opener before Trent Alexander-Arnold badged the second and Declan Rice the third. Finland grabbed a late consolation goal in response. The result saw England go level 1 point with Greece, but trailing on goal difference, with the leaders set to face Republic of Ireland in their game in hand on Sunday. Here is England interim manager Lee Castley reacting to the victory.
Yeah, I think ultimately we've won the game, 3-1, scored 3 good goals. It was a shame that we couldn't keep a clean sheet. The fact that I'm still not, I don't know the players that well yet in terms of the way the team reacts to a defeat and a setback. So I was thrilled to the way that they responded. It's a great sign of a good team when they do suffer a setback and they come back so strongly. In terms of, I thought we really dominated the game, created some good chances, scored some really good goals. It's just a shame we couldn't have kept a clean sheet.
Well, that should be it for sports. Back to you, Dedei.
Thank you very much, Christian, with the very latest in the world of sports. And that'll be it for today's edition of the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. For more news, do log on to starfm.com.gh. My name is Dedei Tettey. Thank you very much for your company. Do have a good afternoon. See you tomorrow. Bye.